Alrighty, so at the present, I have a single coat of both of my colors that I have in my background. At the moment, it looks like dark blue and yellow, but it's supposed to be a light orange, so like a yellow-orange color. Um, I will be adding multiple layers for both of them since a single layer does not provide the coverage necessary. So I'm going to bring this a little bit closer and you can see, it'll also focus this. There you go. But you can see that it doesn't cover very well. So that is one of the big things that I am going to be working on is adding additional layers to both my blue and my orange. I'll be working primarily with my orange first in order to get that all covered up. And then any mistakes that I make, any glitches that happen can be covered up with that blue because darker colors are good at covering up mistakes that we do have rather than trying to cover up any blue mistakes with my orange, which would take a lot more layers and a lot more time. So um, the big thing is that when I try to cover things up with my blue, that I make sure I take my time because then I don't have to just keep going back and forth, fix a mistake on mistake. So I'm going to go and add some more layers on my background colors. In case you haven't found this out yet by watching, but one of the big things to keep in mind while you're painting, especially if you're painting a light color, where it can get kind of frustrating that it is taking a long time to cover up um, lines, especially since mine on my demonstration, I have Sharpie lines, which don't cover up very well. You shouldn't have too much issue with this because you erased all of your pencil lines. So I will have issue. You will hopefully not if you followed instructions and watched my videos like you're supposed to. Um, but the big thing is making sure that you put on nice, even coats, nice, thin, even coats. When you start adding thick layers of paint, it gets really gloppy, it gets really messy, it gets sloppy, and your craftsmanship level on your piece starts to plummet down the toilet, and it doesn't look very nice anymore. So it may take a little bit more time, but it won't take as much time for it to dry. If I just grabbed a huge wad of this paint and just plopped it on there, it will not take as long to dry because it's a thin layer of paint. And that actually will help me in the long run because if I have this nice thin layer of paint, as soon as I finish painting this next layer, by the time I get all the way around here, it's going to be dry here, so then I can just go another layer, which works out really nice. Um, so keep that in mind while you are working. Work in nice thin layers if you're working with a light color and working with any color. You don't want to be globbing on that paint. And there will be a time and a place to be working in that sort of style. Vince Van Gogh worked in that way. A lot of well-known artists worked in that way. But for this project specifically, we are not going to paint in that way. And that's just the way it is. So keep craftsmanship always in the back of your mind while you are working.
I never have the time to do the nothing that I want to do. I'm always rushing around, being what other people want me to be. Yeah, the fabric of the soul is frayed and falling apart at the seams. I'm tied up and tied down by the strings of other people's dreams. I'm starting to see that that isn't me, and my freedom isn't free. Well, all I really want is someone to breathe. Someday I'll learn to say no. I'll find a way to lighten my load. Oh, and learn to say no. I'm feeling like a lion lying down behind the bars of his cage. Yeah, the king of the beast is now the king of this enclosed space. Wear and tear and worry, they've been drawing their lines on my face. Oh yes, I feel a whole lot older than my chronological age. Yeah, I'm starting to see that isn't me, and my freedom isn't free. Well, all I really want is some room to be.